I don't have a problem with someone saying, "Oh, you should be open to experience this. You should be open to date trans people." I don't have a problem with any of that. What he's trying to do is trying to like bully you into saying, "Well, if you just decide that you don't want to date a
Yeah,
trans woman or a
it's
trans man, you're a
super
bigot."
rapey,
Like it's
man.
weird and
Dude,
gross. Like what is
it's
happening here?
it's super rapey. It's super non-consensual. It
It
is. It's
is.
like
It
I'm gonna
is.
shame you. This is toxic masculinity at its finest, man. He's like, I'm gonna shame you into bed, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. This whole video's aimed at that.
A
What are
leftist
you?
not
What are you,
understanding
a bigot?
consent.
What are you, a bigot?
Shocking. 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 Right? No, but no, that's exactly what it is. And now he's using guilt, right? He's
Yeah.
using guilt. It's so funny because not only is toxic masculinity, it's like beta male toxic masculinity. It's like, let me
Oh
guilt
my
you into
god.
sleeping
Oh my
with someone.
god, it is.
Oh, they're gonna kill themselves. They're gonna
It's
have a hard life. You
sexual
should pity them.
coercion.
Isn't that gross?
Yes.
You should pity this class of people, so that's why you should have sexual relations with them or
Yeah.
date them. That's really fucking weird.
That's why people are up in arms about it. That's why it's such a flashpoint, because it's like, wait a second here. You guys have been bitching about consent for the last 5 years. What's going on here? Boy, you
Right.
really did a 180 here. I'm in a neck brace. You turned around so fast.
Yeah, but that's why everyone sees this as like the insane gaslighting it is, because it's like, okay, for so long, the left has been talking about consent. For so long, the left has been talking about, you don't choose your sexual orientation. For so long, the left has been talking about how, oh, you have to make sure you have like consent signed in triplicate, whenever you engage in any sexual activity. And I've been saying this from the beginning, there's going to always be this weird situation because a lot of trans issues kind of the way they argue them go against all these pre-established things they've been arguing for the last 30 years. And this is just another one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy. See, this is what I was telling you about principles, Sitch. It's so nice to have them. When we have principles, we can just stick by them.
No, I disagree. It's easier when you don't have principles, because then you just go, oh, what does my gut feel like?
No.
Where's my gut telling me to go?
No. I believe in the principle of consent. I honestly do.
I don't know why. Some kind of bigot.
So bad.
Some kind of trans.
You're so bad.
You must be a transphobe, Adam.
You're so bad. Ugh, look at you. Disgusting. So bad.
I'm going to look at some pictures of Tifa cosplays to clean my mind of this conversation.
Do it. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Is this how we solve the incel problem? We just have them all transition.
Ooh, there you go.
Well, I don't know. That might be taking place. That might actually be happening. We need to do a study.
Them are so being criticized for it that they have to hide behind phony moral posturing about the imaginary nuances of their sexuality before they'll even speak their mind. They have to play some "I'm not touching you" style word game because if forced to actually defend their bigotry,
wait a minute,
they would.
Yeah, who's defending bigotry? What's going on?
Well, even beyond that, his argument doesn't make sense. He's saying these transphobic bigots that simultaneously make up the majority of the population, simultaneously have power over all these trans people, also have to hide their beliefs into more socially acceptable ways.
Yeah.
This is a complete nonsensical argument.
They're not hiding their beliefs at all. They're basically saying, I'm not into trans people.
No, but he's claiming they are hiding their beliefs.
No, they came up with a joke term. Their beliefs are so in the open. They don't.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is the constant weird argument that the leftists make. They say, oh, all these fascists are hiding their fascistic beliefs, but meanwhile, they all control society. Right. Mm-hmm. All the racists hide their racist beliefs, but they all control society. Racist, how does that make any sense? We live in a white supremacist society dominated by white supremacists and racists, but all the white supremacists and racists feel like they have to hide their white supremacist racist beliefs, even though they control everything.
Right.
How does that make any fucking sense?
The thing is, it actually makes sense from their point of view because they believe in Chomsky's manufacturing consent idea, but that actually completely flips that on its head. If you guys know what manufacturing
consent idea, yeah.
Okay, so this is a very sky high view because he wrote like a full book on it. But basically, the idea is that those people in power will make you consent to something by only giving you half of the story, which makes sense. Like if you're powerful and you have an agenda you want to push and you want it to be.
They did it with Iraq. They only gave gave us half the story on weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, so the people in power, they will have certain things pushed in the news, certain things pushed in pop culture, and then eventually people will see, they'll believe they're getting an informed opinion, and then they'll consent to something. But if they were actually told the whole story, they would have consented to something else. So that's basically the idea of manufacturing consent. And the left really believes in this, and I think there's something there sometimes, but the left believes this applies to pretty much everything. So if we're talking manufacturing consent, we have a minority of people who are trying to push down on the super straight thing and tell everyone that they're all transphobic, and the majority of people they're not buying it. So who's actually pushing the manufactured consent right now?
Right. That's what I was going to say. From how you're describing this, it sounds like the manufacturing consent thing applies to the leftists, not to the normative, not to what they believe.
Yeah, this whole video is trying to manufacture consent. Literally. Like sexual consent.
Would have nothing to offer. They see a world leaving them and their beliefs behind, and rather than stand up for the terrible things they believe,
this is like so bizarre. I'm sorry, I keep pausing it, but
I was about to pause it too. Not only is it so bizarre, but it's destroying his argument. He's saying, "Oh, there's all these transphobic bigots, and they're existing in a world that's leaving them behind." If the world's leaving them behind, and they're all cowards and outnumbered, first of all, why does it matter if these tiny minority of coward people don't want to date trans people?
Because they're the majority.
Okay.
Sitch, you don't understand.
Then also, how can they simultaneously be cowards who are being left behind, but also they're the ones that are getting trans people to kill themselves? Like, this is complete nonsense.
Yeah. I just don't understand this argument that like people are perceiving the world as leaving them behind and that they're upset about it. I just like, come on. No.
That's their theory. They're like, oh, they're all these reactionaries. They're reactioning to things because, the world's leaving them behind. It's changing. There's too much change and it's scaring them.
That's some people. Yeah. Maybe like a small minority, but yeah, I don't think it's the majority.
Whenever somebody online, whenever a leftist online talks about fascism and how they qualify all these people that they talk about as fascists, I'm sure you guys have seen Umberto Eco's 14-point list at this point.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
No?
yeah.
14-point list.
Yeah.
Do basically, I have to read that too?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't want to.
But basically, it's 14 points where if you fulfill most of these points, you're a fascist, and the left stands by this, like solidly stands by this.
Is it like you have blue eyes?
It applies to fascists, but it also applies to them, and you actually read it.
Oh, you're really
yeah.
Hilarious.
And one of the points is point 8. The enemy is simultaneously strong and weak.
Oh yeah,
which is exactly what you're describing right now.
Right, I am familiar with this. Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're describing right now. The enemy is both strong and weak. By a continuous shifting of rhetorical focus, the enemies are at the same time too strong and too weak.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's exactly what's happening. Exactly what's happening.
Terrified of the changing world. I mean, I guess there are some people, but I don't know. Like, are they losing sleep about it? It's kind of cool. I mean,
someone in the DM says, incest is wincest. If you can't keep it in your genes, keep it in your genes. Genes.
Oh my God. That's bad. That's terrible.
There you go.
Terrible, but funny.
To spend their time sticking their tongues out saying, nah, I believe a bunch of bullshit and you can't stop me. They're a bunch of small-minded, privileged, and smug schemers, operating in secret to fight the influence of an outsider whose courage they despise. So they're not super straight. They're Sex Luthor.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my, the virtue signaling here. Oh, there's just a brave legion of trans people. They're just so brave and virtuous. And all these super straights, they're just the most cowardly, pathetic losers who also control society, but they're also loser, pathetic cowards.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But didn't he cast himself as like the trans Jesus too? He's like, and the one character who will stand up to them. I think he did. Who's that one character? Is it him?
It's him. He uses trans neo.
Hold on.
Being in secret to fight in their time, sticking their tongues out saying, nah, I believe a bunch of bullshit and you can't stop.
Okay, so that's the people who are worried about society leaving them behind, the Nana people.
Yes.
They're a bunch of small-minded, privileged, and smug schemers operating in
Operating in secret. Operating in secret.
Hold on. Is it a scheme that you won't have sex with somebody?
No, he's saying the label of super straight is the scheme.
How is it a secret? It was on the Daily Wire, the fucking Daily Wire. Where is the secret scheme?
I don't know.
I don't know if you know about this, but
no. He's saying the fact that they want to promote transphobia is the secret scheme.
Oh, that's the secret part. Okay, I got you.
This is
secret to fight the influence of an.
Hold on.
This is from chat, and it's really funny. Sex Luthor and Red Skull Peterson will soon be allies.
Oh my god. Enforce monogamy for all of you.
Of an outsider whose courage they despise.
Okay, that's the one that I want. Is the outsider with the courage they despise? Is that him?
No. He's saying, and also this is like the dumbest thing you could say. Okay, I don't.
What's he mean by that?
He's saying that anti-trans people despise the courage of trans people.
Oh, really?
Like that's what's motivating them.
Oh, the trans people are the outsider with courage that they despise?
Right. Like there's like a legion of transphobic bigots that are like, oh, all these dang courageous trans people, their courage, I despise it. Their courage, that's what motivates me to hate them. Oh, they're just so courageous.
Well, what he's doing here is he's appealing back to trans panic, because a core of the trans panic defense is if you're a straight guy and a trans woman hits on you and she's really hot and you have no idea, and then you find out later, and then you fly into a temporary insanity and kill her. It's obviously a bullshit legal defense, but the underlying idea is that you are not secure enough in your sexuality, which is why he's referring to courage here. That's what he's appealing to.
Maybe
it's probably just raw disgust. It's not like
Fosslime doesn't understand human psychology. Even
he does. He marched out those Nazi. He marched out those Nazis right before. He does. He understands it enough level.
Right. Yeah. He understands it enough to be manipulative. He doesn't understand it enough to understand
this whole video
complex
is major
issues.
manipulation.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I want to see. I kind of want to see Thought Slime on a date just to see if the same kind of manipulation tactics are being employed.
You know, people that don't like me are generally Nazis.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just saying.
I mean, would you date a person that just called people Nazi willy-nilly? I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, he's going to be...
I'm sure lots of wokies will only date you if you call people Nazi willy-nilly.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe you're right. They're like, he doesn't use the word Nazi enough.
If you don't suck my dick on the first date, then you're definitely a Nazi. It's just how it works.
Yeah, what are you, a Nazi?
Awful.
It's right there on the 14-point list.